Hello guys, it's 899 here and welcome to today's video where today we're going to be going through the preview and prediction for State of Origin Game 2 coming up this Wednesday. Now, New South Wales looking to seal the series with the win over in Perth, but Queensland needing to force a decider down in Sydney. This video will see us go through previewing the squads, talking about potential storylines involving this match, and of course, the all-important, who I think will win Game 2. So without further ado, we're going to start with the away team for this match, despite it being in neutral territory, and the team looking to secure their back-to-back titles, New South Wales. Not a lot of changes from the New South Wales side, but there have been a couple due to essentially necessity. Starting off with the backs, you've got Dylan Edwards, Brian To'o, Stephen Crichton, Latrell Mitchell, Zach Lomax. They've all played fantastic in Game 1. No, of course, they're sticking there. However, the halves pairing has changed. Originally, it was Nathan Cleary and Mitchell Moses, the same pairing from Game 1, but Moses has pulled up injured. In comes stage right, Jerome Luai. The first time in about, 7 or 8 months that these boys will be pairing up, obviously, definitely with Penrith. Now to see if they can get it done with New South Wales. Going into the forwards, the probable props are Max King, Reece Robson and Payne Haas. Max King getting a start after coming off the bench in Game 1 because of Mitch Barnett, unfortunately doing his ACL, ruling him out for the entirety of this season. Second row, you've got Liam Martin and Angus Crichton and Isaiah Yeo at lock. That's pretty substandard. You've also got Connor Watson, Spencer Leniu, Hudson Young, and Stefano Otokamanu on the bench, with Matt Burton currently named as the replacement. So yeah, not really too many changes. Obviously, Connor Watson, Spencer Leniu. I was kind of pushing for Leniu to start, but he is obviously a bit more important as an impact player, so I think that's going to be good for him. Be interesting to see if Queensland actually kick it to them for once. So yeah, pretty straightforward in terms of the team, but I think there's a bit more talking point because there's been more changes with the Queensland team for Game 1. So going through the Queensland team, you've got Kalen Ponga still at fullback. He has held on to his place. Xavier Coates, Robert Toya, Valentine Holmes and Hamisa Tuwai-Fidow. Holmes and Tuwai-Fidow are swapped. Originally, Tuwai-Fidow was the centre with Holmes being the winger. Now they've swapped over. Holmes is centre. The Hammer is now the winger. The halves pairing is Cameron Munster in his first game as captain and Tom Dearden as halfback. They dropped Daly Cherry Evans. Now, moving to the forward, you got Moika Fodawaker, Harry Grant, and Tino Fasua Malawi as the prop hooker prop. Ruben Cotter and Kurt Capel on the second row with Trent Lorio at lock. Then you move into the interchange break. You've got Kurt Mann making his Queensland debut, having a fantastic season with the Bulldogs. Lindsay Collins, Jeremiah Nanai, and Patrick Carrigan, with the 18th man replacement currently being Ezra Mam.
Hey, come on over, have some fun with Crazy Taxi.
So I think it's might as well, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Ezra Mam Selection. Now, I feel like he's not going to play. Obviously, unless Queensland get hit with a massive injury crisis, then they'll have to bring him in. But yeah, a lot of people not happy about his selection due to what happened last year with the whole car accident. I don't really see New South Wales naming Uber with family members in it, so I don't know why they selected him. But I do think, however, this is a bit of a questionable decision. Ezra Mam, he is an alright player when he is good, but it's obviously, with the stigma that currently comes of it, it's a bit, why did you do that? To an extent, it'd be kind of like New South Wales at this point in time selecting someone like Taylor May, who has a little bit of baggage around him. Granted, his case got dropped, but, the baggage kind of still there. So, it's very questionable, especially it's like he's not even going to play, so... And it's just making your team a bit really? Even Queenslanders are against this. It's just a bit weird, personally. Now, going through potential storylines we do have to talk about, it is more going to be focused on Queensland because, that's where it's all about, because it's them up against the wall trying to force a decider. Obviously, the big one being Dearden being selected at halfback. I do feel like this change had to come at some point, but I don't think DCE was that bad in Game 1, to be fair. I just think Queensland just were not in the match at all. They only scored a try when the Blues were down to 12 men. And besides from that, they just were not on the same page as the Blues. I think Jeremiah Nanai starting on the bench, coming in as an impact sub to match someone like Spencer Leniu is a very good decision. I do see that's how Nanai broke into the side, is essentially as an impact sub coming in there, wreaking havoc And I think that is the perfect position for him in this Queensland squad. So I think, yeah, that's very important that he should be there essentially to someone a match like Young and Leniu. And also Takamanu as well, because he's got gripes as well. So it'd be very interesting to see how that does go down. Kurt Mann being selected for Queensland I think is very good because they've now got the utility substitute in comparison to Connor Watson. Obviously, both former Knights players. But yeah, Kurt Mann's done brilliantly at the Dogs, and he's, I think, genuinely one of the best signings they've made. Now, talking about storylines for the Blues, I mean, there really only is one, and that's, of course, the pairing between Luai and Cleary in the halves. Nathan Cleary, in terms of discussions of him being like one of the best halfbacks of all time, for some reason, the one thing people don't really hold him against it of not being named the best of all time is because of his Origin performances where he hasn't exactly gone that well. So that's going to be a very big standing point here for Cleary. He'll be alongside the player he's been with through the juniors at Penrith, who's taken them to 5 straight grand finals and 4 straight premierships. But he'll also be doing it without Mitchell Moses, who some people did say, kind of was the leader in New South Wales turning the series around last year and getting the win at Suncorp in the decider. I do also think as well with this changes, this is going to be putting a bit of pressure on Billy Slater, where in genuine honesty, and this is my honest hot take, if Queensland gets swept this year, I think Slater gets sacked. I just think it's like, that's like, no going back. You can't get any worse than that because, like, I feel like out of any person who's under the most pressure at the moment, it is Billy Slater. Of course, as well, with the selection of Ezra Mam, that's a bit like, you kind of need to know what you're doing here. So yeah, those are some of the main storylines for this match. Now we're going to go into the actual prediction on who I think will win Game 2 on Wednesday. New South Wales utterly, in fairness, had the upper hand in Game 1 the entire stretch of the way, and have essentially put Queensland in a position that they've rarely been in this 21st century. Up against the wall. Especially as someone who grew up, like, I was 5 when they last won before the streak happened. So I basically grew up throughout my whole childhood of Queensland dominating Origin. This is a rarity for New South Wales being in this position. It's like the team is like on point. These are all players that grew up in the similar time span of hating Queensland because of how dominant they were. And it's kind of like this Queensland team now is resting on the coattails of that and not wanting to continue the legacy, whilst New South Wales have the legacy of, we want to burn the fucker down. So essentially the big thing is who is going to step up for Queensland. Now, here's the thing. As much as I talk crap about them, if there is any team to turn this around, it is Queensland. Because the amount of times, if you put a wild animal into the corner and they can only go forward, they come out swinging. So this is what's going to be the key thing for Queensland, is they need to come out swinging and hit for the gut. New South Wales, I think, need to soak in a bit of the pressure, because that's what's going to be for the first half, is going to be Queensland are going to throw absolutely everything at the Blues. But if the Blues can hold on and then just find cracks in their defence, I think New South Wales win Game 2 and clinch the series. To the point of a possible sweep. Now I do know that New South Wales, the last time that they were in this talking point of a sweep, they didn't really perform that greatly because they ended like a C grade side like in 2021 but for Game 3. But genuinely, this is like the best opportunity the Blues have had at a sweep in like decades. So yeah, my prediction, I think New South Wales win Game 2. Who knows what will happen in Game 3? Let me know what you guys think will happen in Game 3. Also, what are your key storylines for this matchup? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.